Hello golfers, and welcome to the Jess Frank Golf Academy YouTube channel. And today I've had a bunch of requests from people on the YouTube channel asking about how not to hit the ball fat. So today in this tip we're going to talk about how not to hit the ball fat, and it's something that is really frustrating when you hit the ground before the ball and the ball goes nowhere. So that is a huge subject out there in YouTube, and people are asking about it and what can I do to stop hitting the ball fat, and we're going to talk about that today. And so there's two things that I would say. And so what I always like to do is I always use my stack and tilt system to provide the best way for you to hit the ball solid, hit it clean, and hit it far. And so again, my name's Jess Frank. I've been a PGA teaching professional for over 20 years. I love teaching this game and I love helping you. So how not to hit the ball fat. So there's two things that I always talk about when not hitting the ball fat. So there is when you hit the ball, you need to have your weight forward on your left leg, or as let's call this for a right-handed golfer. So your forward leg is your left leg. And the second thing is to have your handle forward, not backward. So when you hit the ball fat, there's a couple things going on. Your hips are moving backwards in the downswing and you're releasing your hands early. So you need a combination of these two things. You need to have the weight on the front and you need to have your hands forward. And that's how you hit the ball first and then the turf. And so we'll go ahead and demonstrate this a couple times here. All right. So my goal here is to make sure when I hit the ball, my weight's forward, my handle's forward. And that's pretty solid right there. I would say I definitely hit the ball first and then the turf. And so that is how you do it every single time. The majority, what happens when people start to hit behind the golf ball, their thought process is to get under the golf ball, and we never want to have you get under the golf ball to try to, because everybody's trying to add loft and trying to lift the ball in the air. So there's a couple reasons why people do that. They're like, well, I have to try to help the ball up in the air, then my arms break down, and I'm leaning backwards and hitting up on the ball. And so that's a huge lots of things that happen with that. That's very, very common. And so the next thing I see people do is when they take their swing, they start to lean backwards. Okay, they kind of go back here, secondary access tilt as you call it, and they're leaning way too far back, and you can see where my head goes from in the middle of that tree to now back behind that tree, and that's where they start to hit behind the ball. So that's what happens is when they do that, their weight goes to the back foot and then they can release a little bit early. A lot of thin shots come from that as well. And so if you look at the best players in the world, they're all hitting the ball, then the turf. They're all striking the ball, then the turf. So that's super important. As they come down, they're moving forward, their handle is forward, and that's where the strike is. So they're hitting the ball, then the turf. So let's try that again. So we're going to go weight forward, handle forward. Okay. Then we have the ball. Then we have the ball hitting the ball first. And so that's what we want to do. Now, in your setup, you can do this in your setup as well. So at address, you can place more weight on the front by moving your hips forward towards the target. Okay. You can set up with the handle forward, and then you can keep yourself forward. So that's a great drill. If you have problems hitting the ball fat, this is your drill. You should just do this very slowly in the beginning. So you're going to go, okay, I'm going to set up, instead of setting up with weight on my back foot, I'm going to set up with my hips forward. The majority, I would say 80% of my weight on my front foot. And then from here, I'm going to stay forward. So I'm going to stay forward. I'm going to make sure that you can see where that club head hasn't released, and the bottom of my swing is as far forward as I can make it. And so you're always hitting the ball, then the turf. So this is, we'll try that from here. I'm going to set up with most of my weight on my front foot. or my front leg, which is my left leg, and I'm going to try to hit as far in front of the ball as possible. So that is just as crisp a shot as I can hit. Really solid. In fact, the ball flight actually came down a little bit, and it's a fantastic way to hit the ball solid and a little bit lower, because now, as well as you're also moving forward, you're also de-lofting the club with the hands forward. So the hands are forward, the club head is not scooping and falling back. You're not falling back, you're not releasing the hands early, you're not hitting way behind the ground, or the ground way behind the ball. So this is really, really important. So when you do the weight forward on the left leg, and as you swing back, okay, you can see is that my head is staying very centered. It's not moving up and out. It's not moving to the side. It's staying very centered. I'm keeping majority of my weight on my front foot. Now from here, it's very easy for me to come back down. You can see here, my club head is above my hands. You can see my hands are at my left leg. Then I can release the hands, boom, and I can hit the ball. So this is a great way to do it. I'll do it down the line here. You can see as I go up, moving forward, you can see that this club head is definitely above my hands, and from here, I'm going to be able to move through the ball and hit the ball, then the turf. So again, this is the way to stop hitting the ball fat. Let's put the weight on the front, let's keep the handle forward, and let's play golf. So weight on the front, handle forward. I mean, I'll take 1,000 of those. That was really solid. So hopefully this helps you. Again, stop hitting the ball fat, weight forward, handle forward, and this will help you hit the ball more solid and hopefully shoot lower scores. So I'm here to help you. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please turn on your notifications. Every subscriber helps me grow my channel, so I really appreciate it. Remember, it's free. I love teaching this game. I love helping people play better golf, and I love hearing the comments. So please leave comments. Let me know what you want to see, and we will continue helping you play your best golf. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.